fact that African Americans decided to form a militia is something that's been as American as the Constitution. We realize that our people need some type of protection because those folks that are being paid to protect us, in our perception, are not doing the job. So it's gotten to the point, especially after the Trump administration, that some of the things that were happening, it looked like no one was there to stand up for us, so we organized ourselves into an organized structure within the confines of the law. The confines of the law is we're not a mob. The confines of the law is we're not a gun club. Under the confines of the law, we are a militia.
What's up, world? I'm a determined black man, John Jay, and as usual, I'm determined to reach at least one someone listening to the sounds of my voice, if not each and every one of you all. On today, I wanted to discuss the young man that you just heard from, government named John Fitzgerald Johnson, aka Grandmaster Jay. If you're 30 plus, then you may know Grandmaster Jay because he is a retired rapper that was popular in the late 80s, early 90s. Grandmaster Jay, just like Public Enemy and a few other groups of that day, they kept us socially aware. They kept us conscious about our government, politics, and just life in general. So it was no surprise to me in 2020, following the aftermath of the execution of Breonna Taylor by estranged officers, and decided to just go randomly hunt down some folks, some black people while they in bed. Grandmaster Jay decided to form a coalition group that used the acronym N.F.A.C. That's capital N, capital F, capital A, capital C. And that's the abbreviation for the Not Fucking Around Coalition, which is a black nationalist militant part of the militant movement in the U.S. The group advocates for black liberatism and separatism. So, Grandmaster Jay was really pushing something. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how well we were responding to it and why he is currently facing federal time. He's now doing time in the feds. And why? Grandmaster Jay was only trying to help protect our people. So why has the government found a way to glitch his campaign? And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because America has always been afraid of black people protecting themselves. They've always been afraid of black people being able to protect themselves. The whole point that America tries to make that keeps them feeling superior is that they won't allow us to have the same rights as them. On the books it said, we can have the right to bear arms, But the truth is that I, as a black man, I can't. And that's, I had the discussion with my sibling just the other day, one of my siblings, and that's exactly what she pointed out without even knowing that she pointed it out. I said, we from the South. You down here every day. You between Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama. You see what's going on. Do you see them? Do you see a lot of them walking around with their straps on their sides? Yeah, all the time. I said, yeah, big knives, everything. I said, now, how many of us do you see other than law enforcement? None. Exactly. She said, why you say that? I said, because it's so clear and evident. I said, why don't you see blacks do that? She say, because we can't. Now, damn, I never read a law or in the Constitution that said only white folks can pack a gun and got the right to bear arms, got the right to protect themselves, form a militant group, a coalition, do everything the right way, and still be treated like you're doing it the wrong way. I never seen that. But the fact is, we can't. I'm a black man, and at one point I ain't have a jacket. I didn't have a criminal jacket. I was clean as the Board of Health. I had carries, permits, and licenses. And guess what? I still got treated just like I was a thug. I was still treated like I was out here just slanging iron for no reason. Or like I had just been in the middle of a high-speed chase. If I told the officer, when they asked me these questions, did they weapons in the car? Yes, sir, but I have a concealed license. And all they needed to hear was yes, and boom, they tearing me up out of that. See, the law already prepares them and tells them to basically use their own discretion whether a black man is a threat, whether he has a weapon or not. So they always approach us with this type of attitude, with, as though we are being the aggressors. When all the time they do things that they know, you strike a nerve when you walk up on a man and just grab him and try to turn him around without even explaining to him why he's being arrested. Things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? He deserved it. That's a matter, that's a matter of respect. And the law says that he has a right to be informed the reason why he's being arrested. And the crazy thing is, just like with Grandmaster Jay's case, the government will find any little thing to try to pin on a black man so that he won't be able to have the right to bear arms. To put that jacket on his back so that that's the objective. To keep us from being able to protect ourselves. Why? Why? If we're doing things the legal way and we're not harming anyone, Grandmaster Jay didn't hurt anybody. Anybody. Grandmaster Jay didn't go and invade the Capitol, U.S. Capitol. Grandmaster Jay hasn't went in no schools, him and his military group, and shot up no schools. Grandmaster Jay hasn't done any intimidating things at the polls, like standing around with AK-47s and, marching around. He hasn't gone to any rallies, any white or black rallies, stomping around and trying to intimidate people. Only thing that he has done was try to form an organized militant group amongst black people so that black people can feel at once, we can feel protected. We can feel like we don't have to trust the ones that we have tried to put our faith in for so long. But God knows those folks ain't for us. They never were. Look at history. How much more do we have to take before we realize it ain't no change in them? They just come up with more and more strategic ways to try to keep us down, keep us separated, keep us hating each other and killing each other. But never have you seen where they actually have respected us as people. Now, the feds, they got Grandmaster Jay. Who gonna be next? Anybody that try to raise up and do anything to help support the black community. Anybody that gets any foothold. Anybody that gets any foothold and gets any leeway into helping advance black people, they tear them down. Can't you see it? Last thing folks want to do in this country is relinquish their power. You know what'll happen if they allowed us to strengthen our community like that and to be militant? What would have happened at Black Wall Street had we had a militant group, or we had our own military? What would have happened? It's a possibility that it would still be in existence. It wouldn't got bombed to smithereens. See, the government don't want you to protect yourself from them. They have been our biggest enemy when it comes to the growth of the black community. If you go back and look, this is history. I am not being anti-Semitic. I am not being racist. I'm just being truthful, and I'm speaking in reference to things that we all know, or they know, but they don't want to show. Right, it's a problem for us to form a militia. But have they gone out the Oath Keepers? Have they gone after the 3%ers? No, they haven't. And you know, it's sad because it's evident that one side can do one thing and the other side can't. So, you know, it's evident that it's not fair and that the deck is stacked against us because the moment that we speak against it, the matrix, as they call it, then we get ostracized, we get penalized, and we get criminalized, and then they create the narrative to who we are. This is how it has been for the last 400 or 500 years in America. So I'm just seeking change, and I'm speaking out. I'm advocating for those that can't speak for themselves. Grandmaster Jay did nothing but this. This is what they're mad at. Check this out.
They had a message for the crowd and a conversation with local city leaders. Jesse Cohen shares their message.
It was a long day as members of the N.F.A.C. started at Baxter Square, made their way down here to Jefferson Square Park, and then went back up towards 12th and Jefferson. We were there as they were gathering and getting ready for a long day, but then things changed. People ducking behind cars, medics running to help.
During one of our safety checks, one of our individuals accidentally fired their weapon.
We watched 2 people get taken away in an ambulance after getting shot. That's how the day started for the N.F.A.C., who shortly after made their way downtown and onto the steps of Metro Hall.
N.F.A.C. not around.
There was much anticipated talk about other groups showing up.
We don't respond to threats. We didn't come here to fight anybody. Our mission has been said over and over again. We are here for the protection.
Crowds of protesters and the wild card command of the 3%ers were the only others we saw.
We're here just to make sure that everybody remains calm, let the protesters do what they want, keep everybody safe.
And aside from the gunshot that went off earlier in the day, things did stay safe. Grandmaster Jay, the leader of the group, tells us this march was part 2 of their process. Part 1 was talking to Attorney General Daniel Cameron about justice for Breonna Taylor.
Or if you tell me something that's not going to satisfy what these people want, I'm going to bring my people in just to emphasize that we really want the truth. And that's what today was. It's not just the people of Louisville that you owe an explanation to. You owe an explanation to black people, period.
Now he says if answers aren't provided in the next 4 weeks, they may come back to town.
Do I believe they can do it in 4 weeks when it normally takes 8 weeks? Well, let's just say I wouldn't want to be in their shoes if I didn't. The N.F.A.C. is not going anywhere. It's going to get bigger.
Grandmaster Jay tells us that they are looking at that 4-week timeline, and if answers aren't provided within the next 4 weeks, there is a chance that they'll be back in Louisville. For the Night Team, I'm Jesse Cohen.
Jesse, thank you. Well, Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office is responding tonight after N.F.A.C. leader Grandmaster Jay told a group of protesters Cameron's office would have Breonna Taylor's investigation finished in 4 weeks. Jay talked with Cameron along with Metro Council President David James about this issue. Well, Communications Director for Cameron, Elizabeth Kuhn, says that the conversation between Grandmaster Jay and David James and the Attorney General was productive, but he did not comment on any specifics related to the timeline of this investigation. We also reached out to David James, who also denies any timeline was ever given.
It has been a tension-filled day for all of us. For the most part, we've seen peaceful protests. However, we have experienced a lot of violence and chaos from those hiding behind the right to peacefully assemble and using it as a platform to tear up and destroy our city.
LMPD says that they made 5 arrests during the N.F.A.C. march earlier today, but did not arrest anyone in connection with an accidental shooting, leaving 3 injured. It happened earlier today at the staging area in Baxter Park just before protesters started marching. Police say that the protests largely remained peaceful and that they support people's right to protest. But police are asking that demonstrators respect the legal process.
All right, let's look deeper into this. Let's unpack it all. You got Grandmaster Jay and his black militia group marching into Louisville, Kentucky, the birthplace of Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali. Need I say any more about the history of Louisville, Kentucky, where they have gunned down this innocent young lady as she slept through the night, tore bullets through her home and her body, unjustified, ruthless thug cops. We go demanding justice. This is Grandmaster Jay and the militia group demanding justice in this same city, in this same jurisdiction. I don't think that those people stomach that well. Because if you look at the history, even if we look back at January 6th, the insurrection of the Capitol, of all the 12 plus militia groups that were there, that were present, and of all the people that were arrested, only half of those people received sentences between 7 days to a little over 7 years. And here is Jam Master Jay, 59 years old. They give him 7 years and 2 months in the federal penitentiary for supposedly aiming his weapon up in the sky on top of a building at a federal agent. I'm almost reluctant to believe that because I'm almost certain they would have gunned him down. I'm almost certain that that's in their, tactical way to handle those type of situations.
The leader of the No Effing Around coalition is heading to federal prison for 7 years. The sentence for Grandmaster Jay stems from him pointing a rifle at a federal officer.
And as WDRB's Jalen Level explains, it may be meant to send a larger message.
No justice, no peace. Faith leaders, activists, and several others packed the steps of the federal courthouse for John Johnson, better known as Grandmaster Jay.
Mercy, that he would grant grace, and that he would grant justice, and complete freedom, exoneration for Grandmaster Jay.
That was the hope, just hours before Johnson's sentencing. In May, a federal jury convicted the leader of the black militia group on 2 counts of assaulting a federal task force officer and brandishing a firearm during the Breonna Taylor protest in 2020.
He would not have been here in the first place had that warrant not been alive. So now you have to do right by justice, because if you know you found alive, then you got to free up the people that was persuaded by the lie.
Wednesday, Johnson was sentenced to 86 months in prison. The judge dismissed the first count of assaulting a federal task force officer, which would have brought a higher sentence of up to 20 years.
I believe that this sentence is a reflection of the federal judiciary beginning to send a message, and it starts with Jan 6.
While this case does not relate to the January 6th insurrection, legal expert Larry Wilder says he believes the sentence for Johnson coincides with federal judges cracking down after January 6th.
I think it's a kind of a don't bring your guns. I truly think that the judges are sentencing people, and the message is don't become violent. Don't be in a place where violence can become it becomes incendiary.
Just moments after Johnson was sentenced, the same protesters returned to the steps with a different message.
A miscarriage of justice in Louisville, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, has taken place. And quite frankly, it's an embarrassment to all of our humanity.
Now, Johnson was facing up to 27 years in prison. The 7 years he received is slightly more than the minimum time allowed under federal law. Jalen Level, WDRB.
See, the very truth of the matter is when the deck is set and your chips are down and the chips that are stacked against you are overwhelmingly, substantially much greater than yours, then your odds of winning become so micro that it can't even be fathomed. See, the thing is, if Grandmaster Jay did anything negligent, then it's not a question that he should be punished, but I feel like whatever he did, and especially if you standardize it according to the things that have happened much worse or greater, people have done much worse and been sentenced to much less. Then if you standardize it by that, then I feel like he has been very much over-sentenced. And I feel like that he has been dealt a very bad injustice. So that's why I feel the need to say, let's get freedom, let's get justice for Grandmaster Jay, because Grandmaster Jay was pushing a very legitimate issue amongst the black people. Our rights ain't protected. Hell, we can't even have the freedom of speech, so they ain't trying to protect our bodies. Hell, they want us out of here. It's evident. Look around. Jam Master Jay and N.F.A.C. marched into Louisville, Kentucky seeking justice for Breonna Taylor. And now he at 59 years old has to sit and rot for 7+ years in a federal penitentiary. So I am seeking justice and freedom for Grandmaster Jay, a brother that was standing up for the black community. Black community to stand up for brothers like this. And if you will support the content, please leave a Cash App with the Cash App in the bio, or you can hit the super thanks down below. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Together we can, we will, we shall. I am a determined black man, John Jay. And as I love to say, y'all stay up, stay humble, and stay good people. Until the next time, I'm out. One.